indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Moving on. Item number 4 in your agenda is approval and overview of agenda, and that's on pages 1 to 4, if you need to look at it. I would love to get a motion.
Move to approve.
Second.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, that is approved. Thank you. Number 5 on our agenda, actually, it's the consent agenda, and that's A, approval of regular meeting minutes, June 28th through 2018. That's found on pages 5 through 11. And then B, approval of claims and warrants, L568, and that's on 12 through 14. Do I hear a motion?
Move for approval.
Second? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Approved. Thank you very much. Item number 6 is correspondence, and we do have some tonight.
We do. Before I move into correspondence, I'd like to introduce the library board to a new member that will be sitting at our meetings each month, and that is Barbara Cook. Julie Prottengeyer had put in her leave back in May, and her last day was last week at the library. She served us well. In fact, I'm sad to see her go, but I know that she wanted to move on with some other things with her family. But we have the privilege of bringing on someone new, and Barbara Cook is a Novi resident. She was hired for a bookkeeping position at the library. She'll work out of the administration office. I'm excited because this is a new position. When Julie offered to leave, we looked at things a little differently, and some of the needs that we wanted for the library and for the administration office, as well as assistance with the library board. And so we looked for someone that had some financial background. I'm really excited because she has many years of experience with auditing, great resume, and she has come on board in the last couple weeks and truly has been put already into all of the daily tasks that get done, and is definitely learning very quickly all the things that we do at the library. So I wanted to introduce the library board at this time to Barbara Cook.
Welcome, Barbara.
Welcome. She will also be doing the minutes. You will say goodbye to Marcia, unfortunately. But part of Barbara's position will be to, be able to pay attention at library meetings that we have, and when it comes to financial questions and things, the two of us will be able to hopefully either address at that time or look into further things for you based on her experiences. So thank you.
Well, thank you, Marcia, for your years of service.
But she's still here.
She's still here.
I know.
She's not leaving.
You're the service.
Thanks, Rebecca.
You're the service to the board specifically.
I'll be back up, though.
Oh, good.
Okay, so now we're moving on to page 14. We do have a number of correspondence that I shared with you in your packet. The first one is from Cynthia Kern, and this was just a thank you. Cindy is the farm director at Mayberry Farm, and she was so pleased with the programming that was presented by the library under April Stevenson and Kathleen Alberga. They had a great turnout and a wonderful event, and this was a thank you to the staff for them coming out and working with them and our community. On page 15, we have a thank you letter from Katie Esther. She is library director for Shelby Township Library. I had the pleasure of giving a tour to Katie's staff. They're, I believe, looking at some expansion and maybe different renovation opportunities at their library. And so they came in and looked at what Novi has done over the past 8 years. They were very, very impressed.
How many people were there?
I gave a tour to 5 of their employees.
They came in the morning time?
They did.
Do we extend hospitality or coffee or something to them?
Typically, we don't, because in this particular case, they were on quite a time crunch. They were coming in quickly because they were trying to get to a number of libraries that
I
day.
request that we should start doing that.
Okay, we can definitely do
Any
it.
VIP comes or this sort of thing, it is a touch to the library.
Very good. We'll definitely put that in for the administration office. Thank you. On page 16, there is an email, and this is from Mike Alley, a library patron that I did not know of until he sent a wonderful email to myself, which also Mayor Bob Gatt and our city manager Pete Auger was CC'd on. Very impressed he was with what is going on at the library, and especially the new database that we've just launched called lynda.com. This is in place of another database that we used to offer for learning online. This is a new one, more robust, a lot more opportunities, and he was so pleased. He had used this and was familiar with it in his business capacity before he retired, and was really excited to see the library offering this. So I wanted to share this with you.
I love the holy cow.
I know.
Right.
All caps.
It's all verbatim, so it's just a cut and paste, so yeah. And then I had the opportunity to meet him. He actually did drop into the library after I offered, for him to stop in and let me get a chance to meet him in person, and great. He just went on, and he's actually joined our camera club since then, and hopefully in the future will be one of our photographers that will be at programming in the future, and will be able to, benefit from those photos. So it's great to see different people, different ages using the library. And then finally on page 17 and 18, first is the actual email from the patron, Melissa Pletcher. Melissa had a concern with one of the programs that was being planned for the end of July, which will be next week. And I wrote back, we did a lot of extensive research on the particular program that's being offered, and I feel that my staff has done very good due diligence in order to look into the matter. She was concerned that the animals that were going to be at the event next week, was there any concern for them to be harmed in any way? And as far as I know from the years of experience from this particular performer, they've not had any issues, and I know that Northville has just hosted their program. I haven't heard that there were any concerns. We did reach out to the performer himself to let him know that we had some concerns, and he seemed very willing and is willing to work with our staff that night and to make sure that this is a very good program that's offered to our community. Okay, any questions?
It's a delicate balance.
It is.
Between education and concern and raising, the contextual issues around animals as opposed to aren't they cute and can I
Right.
pet them? And so I think she raised some important points, and I was very pleased to see how thoroughly you responded.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Item number 7. This is the fun part, right? All of it's fun, all of it's fun. Okay. Item number 7, presentation and special guests.
So I'm going to go to the podium.
Yes.
And President Mitchner, would you like to join me?
I will join you.
So this is my favorite meeting of the year, because tonight we're going to recognize some amazing library employees that are here that have done some fabulous work over the last year. The first 5 employees that I'm going to have stand up and come on up to the front are Eva Sobolchik, Linda Bruin, Barbara Rakowski, Betty Lang, and Katie Iverson. Stay here. Stay here. These 5 were recognized for customer service at our library. They were nominated by their fellow employees at the library. And I'm going to read a little bit about what the employees submitted to me and why they're being recognized tonight. So the Customer Service Award, it's nominated by fellow library employees, recognizing a staff person for giving excellent customer service to other MPL employees and our Novi library patrons. They were seen providing the most consistent and most positive customer service to our patrons and staff. They always, and I put that in caps in my notes, greet patrons and staff with a smile and go above and beyond to assist patrons or fellow MPL employees. And they also stay calm in chaotic situations. And we all know that working with the public can be difficult at times. So Eva, she is our support services supervisor. This is what one of the employees had to say about Eva. Eva has really taken big steps to develop her supervisor skills this year, especially as it pertains to customer service and being available to fill in, adjust her schedule to fill department needs. Whether working with patrons or coworkers, she demonstrates patience, good listening skills, and empathy to assist whomever she is working with, and always strives to do what she can for them. Congratulations, Eva. Next is Linda Bruin. She's one of our librarians working specifically with youth. I find Linda, this is one of the co-workers, to be always such a delight to the patrons and staff when interacting with them, providing the utmost in customer service, always with a welcoming smile. Her enthusiasm and bubbliness is so very contagious. I've also had the pleasure to witness Linda in story times, and the children absolutely love her as she gets up and sings and dances with them and interacts with them without being scary. True words, right? Thank you. Congratulations. Our next one is Barb Rakowski. She's the head of our IT department. Barb is great to work with as a coworker, but I was especially impressed with the hard work and persistence she brought to MPL's portion of Project Enable. This was an immense project that she took on with good humor, persistence, and enthusiasm. When our 3D printer broke down last December, she went above and beyond to find replacements and eventually new printers for the library. Besides rallying the 3D committee to keep up with the amount of arms, hands, and fingers needed to meet the quota of 200 assembled hands, she would come in on her days off and during library closures to keep the machines repaired and in production mode. Besides doing her job to see the project through to completion, I also can tell that she is invested in the project. Congratulations. And next is Betty Lang. Betty Lang is one of our librarians, and she works specifically with our local history room and our historical commission. Betty is always polite and goes above and beyond to help patrons. Even when there are multiple people at the desk, Betty is polite and attentive to each one. She often asks, "Is there anything else you need?" A few months back, Betty was assisting a patron locate and print an article online. The patron was verbally abusive and used foul language. Betty was able to keep herself very calm during the interaction and never wavered from being polite and kind. Thank you, Betty. And lastly, for customer service is Katie Iverson. And Katie is an intern at the library, and she's a Wayne State University student working on her MLIS, and we're very excited. So it's a great learning experience for Katie, but she hasn't even been with the library a year yet. However, she came in ready to go, one of her employees writes. I've seen Katie's interactions with patrons at the information desk, and she goes above and beyond to help patrons, always with an enthusiastic smile. When she asks questions, she finds the answers quickly for the patrons she helps. Katie is also always willing to help other staff, including helping with programs in a pinch. She has been a pleasure to work with. Thank you. Thank you so much, ladies. I appreciate all of your work. Thank you.
Congratulations, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Go. And now we have another set. This is our Above and Beyond Award. So this award recognizes staff by their department heads who are seen going above and beyond in their attempts to reach their annual goals or have a significant impact on a library service, collection, or program for NPL in 2017-18 that truly meets our motto of inform, inspire, include. So I'm going to welcome up Pat Ameriscandri. Pat. Scott Rakestraw was unable to attend tonight, but Scott would be recognized this evening. Mary Ann Zermulin, Mary Storch, and Marcia Dominic. Come on up. Right. So I'm going to start with Pat. And Pat is one of our support services clerks, seen many times at the main desk and assisting with patrons. This is what her supervisor had to say about her. Pat consistently this year has always been willing to adjust her schedule, pick up additional shifts, increase her learning in new skills, or fill in where needed. In addition, she was one of our go-to staff for additional outreach opportunities, which included Fox Run of Novi. With the staffing issues this year, it was truly greatly appreciated. Thank you, Pat. I know Scott's not here tonight, but I do want to read what was written by his supervisor. Scott has more than exceeded expectations regarding his virtual reality goal. Not only has he shown exceptional leadership for the VR committee, but he has taken VR consortium-wide with his presentations to the TLN Tech Forum and Teen Services Committee. He has also demonstrated the equipment to the Friends at their annual gala, which is now booked for the evening, to staff, patrons, participants of Teen Space, as well as representatives of many neighboring libraries. And some of those examples are the Salem South Lyon District Library, Howell Carnegie District Library, and Chelsea District Library. In addition, the video he created about the library and the services offered in it was amazing. It was informative and very entertaining, and it continues to play on the city's cable TV channel still. So thank you, Scott Rakestraw, for your efforts. Next is Mary Ann Zermulin, and she is Department Head for Support Services. Mary Ann's leadership this year to bring the library onto a new catalog and circulation system for MPL was extraordinary. Mary Ann led the project for almost a full year, working with TLN staff, other libraries in our consortium, and many employees at MPL. Every detail was thought through and communicated exceptionally. This was no easy project, as roadblocks did seem to come up through the process, but Mary Ann made it through the long hours, stressful deadlines, and made Novi look amazing. Carl was born and is now growing on our staff and patrons positively. Thank you. I enjoyed writing that. She really did put a lot of effort in. You've seen it, so it's being used by many. And next, Mary Storch. She is a librarian that works specifically with our outreach. Mary went above and beyond this year, not just in her goals, but also in extra projects. She reached out to the City of Novi's older adult services to plan for joint programming at Meadowbrook Commons. She put the library first as she planned, and at the same time managed to promote us out in the community and here at the library. Mary took on a goal of writing guidelines for a librarian mentoring program. Besides writing them, she reviewed what feedback came back from their first use and made revisions. She did more than what was stated and asked of in her goal. Another example of going above and beyond was while working on the Novi's Caring Community Project. She collaborated with a local church to further the creation of ESL training opportunities in our community. Thank you, Mary. And finally, Marcia Dominic. Now, I refer to her as my right hand in the admin office. She is my administrative assistant, and I say my because she is mine. Nobody can share her. Marcia's contribution this year to the library was extraordinary. She coordinated all of the data for the salary study that was completed and implemented for the library employees. This took months to connect with local libraries in the Detroit area, as well as pull data from the DSLRT and state aid reports. And when more information was still needed, she repeated the process to ensure the most up-to-date information was being used. All at the same time as implementing the many new hires that came on board with MPL in 17-18 and the various HR-related functions to properly onboard a new employee while juggling the daily financial responsibilities that our organization requires. Yes, she wears two hats. Never did she seem overwhelmed or discouraged. Instead, she provided the most positive responses to our patrons and employees to meet their daily needs from our administration office. Thank you, Marcia. So here are 10 examples of what I think is extraordinary work. Thank you so much, all of you. And I know that, employees had voted on these and nominated, and so did our department heads. And I thank you all for your dedication and the support that you bring every day to the building. It is truly an honor to work with all of you, and you all bring wonderful skills. And we rock because of what goes on a daily basis and the commitment that comes from people like these 10 individuals here tonight. In addition, though, we've got 60 other people at the building right now who I know they would all agree with me also do wonderful work at our library, and I want to thank them as well. There's such a commitment from the staff, and people come in on a daily basis, I think, enjoying their job and wanting to work for our Novi community and service our patrons in our community, and I thank you so much for that. I would also like to note that there is a plaque that is being designed, and all of the employees will be recognized on that, and then it will be hung at the library. And then thanks to the Friends of the Novi Library, we're able, President Mitchner and I, to take these individuals to dinner in August in order to celebrate their successes this year. Tara, would you like to say anything?
I'd love to say something. I'll be quick, though. Okay. How can I make this I'm looking at you guys. I want eye contact. So here's the deal. Whenever you go to a place, any place, a restaurant, a car wash, whatever, there's something that they all have in common: customer service, right? And the ability to go above and beyond or not. We remember both scenarios. We remember what kind of customer service we get, and we remember when someone goes above and beyond or not. And usually that circulates on social media. We tell our friends, Julie, don't ever go to that Target. We do that. That's what we do. The library has such a great reputation. I love to tell people I'm the president of the board. Do you know why, you guys? Because you're the ones that are going above and beyond. Because you guys are the ones that provide an amazing customer service. I'm on the board, but I'm at the library a lot. My yoga pants with my son. You serve many capacities for my family beyond just me being the president of this board, and we benefit from that personally as a family. My kid will tell me, Miss Linda danced with me in story time. He loves bedtime stories. That's his jam. He loves it. It's his favorite. But that's because you bring energy. I have video footage of Linda just giving her all, and so many others giving their all. Everybody's not front and center like Linda. You got people that are more behind the scenes, but still making it possible for us to use technology. So I hope that you know that your role is not only valued, but is needed. This library can't function without people who actually go above and beyond in their respective roles. So thank you.
Any comments from the board?
I'll go. I was at a family event the other day, and a distant family member stopped me and was like, "You're on the library board?" I go there is it Friday for reading time, and he brings his granddaughter and says it is the best, and he enjoys it, and the mom enjoys it, and just says it's so impressed with everything we do at the library, and loves it. So thank you very much, and congratulations.
I wanted to echo everything that's been said too. I've not had the pleasure of working with every one of you, but most of you have helped me with something at one time or another over the years. I had my latest oh my moment at the library this morning. We had a 10 o'clock meeting having to do with the LED lighting. We all got there a few minutes early, and it was so cool to see all the people in line to come in. I don't know how many there were, probably 20, 30, 40 at least, just kind of milling around, and they were happy, they were engaged, and they were ready to get started with their day at the library. So that was pretty cool for me, and I think everybody to see. And again, it goes to your dedication that they feel that enthused to be showing up that early.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone else want to say anything?
Everything really has been said already, and we sometimes on the board frequently get to see Julie's energy and her investment and her service and her above and beyond, but we don't usually get a chance to see all those behind her who make that really work. There are three words that I always feel summarize for me the highest qualities of workforce, and that is competence, and you are, compassionate, and you are, and commitment to the mission of the library, which you are. So I thank you for being competent, compassionate, and committed to the role. We kind of like represent you in some ways in the community, but we don't need to do much because you do it all. So thank you.
I want to mention that I brought 2 times different consul generals of Japan, and they were escorted by Julie to see the library, and they were surprised to see how efficiently each one of you working. They didn't talk to you, but they have seen, and they told me later on. One of the consul general, he has gone to China. The second one is still here, and his wife says she will come again because she was so fascinated to that. And another one was the mayor was Oak Park. They were going to renovate the library, and she said, Ramesh, I want to see. And I brought her, and she saw that. Because their library was very old, and she said, your library is a new one, and we want to see what you had done, so we want to do that. She became, Barbara, sit down. I had to say something to you. Let me say, Barbara, she's running. Yeah. Barbara, I want to tell you that you may not be remembering that because when she was in the facilities about a few years ago, this is the lady at her own. She went outside and cleaning the snow there. Nobody told her to do it, but that is in her to do because that is her library. That's what I like that. So Barbara, I have been watching you so many times you have done out of the way. Very good. Keep it up.
Barbara, sit down.
What a great sign of teamwork and.
Yes, right.
You know exactly what you needed, you're right up there, but, in Novi, we have a lot of great things here, and that we can be proud of, and for the Novi Library to be on top of that and, shine above and beyond everything else in this community, it's pretty impressive, and it really has to do with all the people that work there, so thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you again. We appreciate you all.
Again, we can-
Okay, so on our agenda, B, is our student representative's annual presentation with Lahari Vavilala.
Have a good evening.
Barbara, you could leave now.
Barbara, you stay.
Is it true?
Okay.
So, hello, my name is Lahari. Unfortunately, Ravina couldn't be here today, but we worked on creating the library board year-end reflection. So first, for attendance at TAB meetings, personally, I went to all but one TAB meeting, and I saw that the attendance compared to last year was very consistent. It was always above 20, and I really liked seeing that because there were these people who kept coming back every time. So we want to maintain this consistency by revising what it means to be an active member for the next school year. So for the successful events that we had, on January 26th, we had the After Hours Harry Potter party, and attendees celebrated all things Harry Potter in honor of the upcoming Harry Potter World Book Night. So participants enjoyed pizza, played trivia, went on a scavenger hunt, made chocolate wands, made a felt bookmark, guessed the jelly bean flavor, and finished off the night with ice cream. So attendance for that was 36, and there are a few pictures. Another successful event was the annual Battle of the Books program, which was on March 10th. And here, students read from a list of 6 books and then participated in a contest where each team answered questions about those books. Prizes were awarded to first, second, and third place teams. There were also awards for best team name and best team attire. So this is one of our tween events, and the attendance for it was 204. And as you can see there, there's a picture of the winning team. Now, for additional successful events, on April 14th, the National Library Week event took place at Lucky Strike of Novi. So this was a very fun event for all ages who participated in the National Library Week challenge of reading 60 minutes to earn entry into the event. So it's a good way to keep people reading. Each participant got a $5 game card to play games, played life-size games, decorated a bowling pin, played virtual reality for ages 12 plus, and enjoyed pizza. So attendance for that was 78. And then another successful event is on May 4th, the Cinco de Mayo celebration took place. Attendees enjoyed Mexican-style buffet foods while celebrating this day. Attendance for that was 60, and if you can see there, there's me in the bottom left picture. So yeah, that was personally a very fun event just to go hang out with friends, and I like having those events here at for teens. So for other tween and teen library programs, there was the Tween National Geography Bee, the end of the year Teen Space Party, the Demolition Derby, the Extreme Reality STEM Workshop, there's cake decorating, and there were a lot of coding classes that took place. So for the TAB video, we participated in the Teen Video Challenge once again. So this year, the theme was Libraries Rock, so we had our members singing and rocking out, and the video had TAB members also promoting books. So our video won the State of Michigan Award through the Collaborative Summer Library Program, and I was a part of this video, and it was a really great thing for all TAB members to do. We just went out and filmed one TAB meeting. So here's a picture for the certificate and pictures of members in the video. And then for our goals for next year's Teen Advisory Board, we hope to encourage members to participate in the service projects by offering incentives for them, just for whoever comes up with the best idea, for them to be encouraged to come up with great ideas for service projects, because we want to keep giving back to the community. We hope to hold contests to come up with the best idea for that service project or a library program and give prizes for the best idea, so the most creative idea, and in presentation-wise. So we also hope to take a TAB picture to represent the group and allow for recognition as a group. So I know for me, we took a TAB picture when we were in my freshman year, so it's a little outdated, so we want to update that. So another goal that we have is to make the purpose of each TAB meeting more direct and keep members actively engaged throughout the meetings through various activities. And finally, most importantly, we want to make TAB fun for members and give them a positive experience they'll want to remember. So for our service projects that we had 3 different service projects. So we had our can drive. For this drive, we collected items to be donated to the local hospitality food pantry. So I know we encouraged TAB members to participate in this by saying, oh, you'll get a pizza party if you bring in cans, and we did end up having that pizza party. So that was a great way to encourage TAB members. We also had a book drive. So we raised over 300 books to donate to the Academy of the Americas, a school in downtown Detroit. And I know Ravina facilitated this effort because she works with the Academy of the Americas. And we also had our Fox Run visits. So teens were given the opportunity on weekends to visit the elderly at Fox Run and interact with them by sharing cards with them and enjoying treats. So those are a few of the service projects, and that's all.
Thank you so much.
Any questions?
Lahari, I have a question for you. So, Lahari is amazing. I've been able to talk with her like outside of this room, which is awesome. It's funny when people are not in their usual place, though. You're like, I know you. But she was just as delightful as she is here, which is awesome. That's my little sidebar. But anyway, I want to know from you, what was your favorite part about serving?
Honestly, just giving back to the community. It's always fun to go out and volunteer at the library, and just I've been involved with the library for such a long time. I like seeing the faces of the kids as we help them and they actually understand, especially through the education programs. I know I went to like a virtual STEM reality workshop, and I volunteered at that, and just seeing the kids' faces as they understood like STEM, that was really rewarding for me.
Thank you. Any other questions or thoughts for Lahari?
It seems as though you're so filled with what you do at school. I would assume you have many school events. So to stretch out and give into the community really begins a lifelong experience of giving back what you've received. So you're well on your road to becoming, by what you've done already, building on that in the future. So bless you for all your work.
Thank you.
I just want to tell you, very impressive, your events, your reporting. I love how you have goals and that you're bringing in other
Yes.
people to help. I do have one question. So for future, trying to create future leaders, when you're going to leave, what are you doing to help create future leaders to keep your legacy going?
Well, specifically in TAB, we have officer positions. So we have like ways to get involved with TAB. Like we have committees, so people can take the lead. I know there was a freshman in high school. She took the lead for a committee, so I think that gave great leadership experience to her. And now she's becoming a TAB officer. So I think TAB offers the opportunity for students to grow like that and take charge and plan these programs by just coming up with a great idea.
Very nice, thank you.
Good question.
All right. Anyone else before I move on? Well, thank you so much. We really appreciated the presentation. It was amazing. Thanks for all the work you do. C, our friends are here. Friends of the Novi Library, annual presentation, years in review.
So
Please
we have President Sue Johnson and Vice President Carol Hoffman are here tonight to present to you.
See if I'm successful at getting my presentation, huh? No? Try again. There we go. Now, if I hit F5, it worked. Gotta love technology.
Right.
The Friends have completed a very successful year. And we're looking forward to the future. We're always looking forward. It's nice to look back and see how well you've done, but we're looking to the future. We have our committee in place for our Booked for the Evening event. And by the way, if I call it a gala, I get fined. We're all into branding. We're going to brand Booked for the Evening. It's going to become our annual membership and fundraiser. And we are putting it on our library web page. We're going to have our sponsors, acknowledging our sponsors on there. So we're going to become branding our event and making it very much a part of our efforts during the year. In the library board packet, you'll see the year in review with pictures. You will see our approved budget for the coming year, and also see the actuals for 2017-18 and how we did against our budget there. One thing we're pretty proud of is that we pretty much achieved a balanced budget this year. We spent only $480 over our revenue, which if you'll notice, I also had Marcia made a five-year handout that you were given, so you can see how we've done it the past 5 years. And if you'll notice, last year, we were $3,700 over our expenses over our revenue. So we've made a big improvement this year. A lot of that, I think, is due to our Booked for the Evening event, and I'll talk about that a little later on. Also notice that, although I don't expect you to do the math in your head, but we had $37,800 in expense this year. $33,800 of that went back to the library in terms of programs, technology purchases, the scholarships we give out. So our overhead, being an all-volunteer organization and getting a lot of hours, volunteer hours, is only about 11%. And I think that puts us in the A category for charities. We're very proud of that. Now if I can advance, there we go. Book Nook, our main revenue funder. Sales this year are $24,389, and we do get pennies in the honor box, so that's actually, they actually count. We've had steady sales for the past 5 years. You can see that in your 5-year summary that although it dips and flows a bit, it's pretty steady. And given with all the electronic readers and downloadable media, we still get a lot of book donations in, and we still go through we make about 450 to 500 every week. We had a $700 week before last. Amazing. We were all just over the top. That is, in the time that I've been recording, I'm the math person on the group. I'm the one that's always coming up with numbers, and everybody's saying yes, so go on. In the time I've been tracking the weekly numbers and giving them to Carol, who's our Book Nook manager, it's the only $700 week that and that's from the end of 2015. So that was very, very nice to see something like that, given that books are no longer quite as popular. Not that the library isn't, but the books aren't. So it takes about 47 volunteers to keep our Book Nook going during the year. That includes sorters who have to take all the donations in, sort through them, decide what to keep, what to give to thrift books, and organize them for shelving. We shelve once a week, so our shelvers come in and put new books into the Book Nook on Thursdays. We have sellers in there, 2-hour shifts, about 4 or 5 days a week. 5 days a week. And they sign up for shifts. When they're in there, we open what we call the glass cases. The one side of the Book Nook has 3 locked glass cases. That's where our more expensive items are. So we sell out of there when there's actually a person manning the Book Nook. If you want something out of a glass case and it's locked, we have a hold request scenario where you can ask for it and it's banded up and put on our shelf and you can come and pick it up and pay for it. The honor box is always there, and we collect money in the honor box when it's not manned. We don't do big sales like some libraries do. Some of the big libraries with much bigger friends groups than we do have the massive sales once a year where they make, $125,000, don't we wish? But there are problems doing that. You have to have a location to store all the books. You have to get all the books sorted out, you have to box them, you have to somehow physically get them, and we're all retired. That means over 65 and not lifting heavy boxes of books anymore. You have to get those all to a location, you have to bring them back for the sale. Anyway, I think you can understand. So we have opted to do targeted sales. If we get too many hardcover books, we have an overstock sale. We put the table up in the middle of the Book Nook for 50 cents, 25 cents. We cut them down, way cut them down. And we go through a lot of books that way, and then we get rid of them, and so we stop that sale. We have a holiday sale that starts around October. Right now, we're getting ready for our children's sale, back to school, we do the children's sale. In the summer, we put paperbacks, because you want to take a paperback to the beach or wherever you're going on a trip. So that's our philosophy for the Book Nook, is to have targeted sales throughout the year. Our other source of income is our membership. We have 230 memberships, 346 members, getting 30 new members last year, which is good. We got in as much membership money this year as we have in the last 5 years, $6,300. And we think that's due mainly to the popularity of our Booked for the Evening event, which I hope you all can attend this year. October 19th, 7 to 9 at the library. Put it in your calendar. It's a lot of fun. Only 2 hours. People left last year saying, it should be longer than 2 hours, and we're all saying, whew. That brought in 60 new memberships, and you have to be a Friends member to come, other than you guys. So people renew. They go and renew their membership. So I think we probably got 10 to 15 renewals that we might not have gotten if not for that event coming on. We participated in Fox Run, and Doreen, thank you for letting us know about that and inviting us. We got 5 new members there, and interest as well in the Booked for the Evening event. So we now have 11 members from Fox Run. And we do have an idea that we'd like to discuss with you, Doreen, perhaps sometime when...
Absolutely.
Okay. We do mailings once a year to our lapsed members. We put a few pictures in to show them all that we're doing, tell them when they last gave us membership money. And from that, we've actually done pretty well. This year, we brought in, let me check, 6 renewals for $115, which may not sound like a lot, but that's an ongoing thing. It's yearly, year over year. So now we're getting that money every year. So it's important to try to bring people back. Unfortunately, you get the mail in, you leave it on the table, the renewal envelope gets buried. That's the way it goes. So we do our best. Also, interestingly enough, you're missing a music program that we're sponsoring tonight. 150 people are signed up for this. Was it jazz?
It's on the patio.
A jazz event on the patio. Mm-hmm. And we get a lot of positive, our friends, memberships are available, and we often get new members from events like that. So that's a very, very good as well. Booked for the Evening. The first Friends membership event was in 2003. It was held in a model home. One of the realtors opened their home for Christmas. It was all decorated for Christmas. The Friends members bought the wine. They may put meatballs together and a few crackers and cheese. Carol's husband was the bartender. Informal, low cost. Well, as time went on, the expenses grew. In 2011, we moved it from the model home because parking was an issue and winter was an issue. And here we had this beautiful library with a huge parking lot, so we moved it to the library, which was very nice. The atmosphere there is great. In 2015, for 55 years of the library, we had it catered, we had a raffle, all kinds of fun, but still we had only minimal sponsorship. So that one was pretty costly. Last year, it came to the point where we were really struggling with whether the expense was really what the Friends would want us to be spending our money on. And so we were concerned. We met with someone who had newly joined our board, who had many, many years of experience with the YMCA and fundraising for them. And she said to us, I understand your concern about the expense, but there's a lot of goodwill there too. She said, I went to your event last year, and I remember it, and it was a fun thing, and it makes me think real positively about you and the library. So that's hard to put a dollar value on, but you need to consider how important that is to you. So we listened to her. She says, hey, I can put on an event, help you put on an event where you can break even. And we said, yeah, sure. Because it had cost us over $2,000, and we still had some sponsorships for that one. So she said, no problem. She said, I can get you all the food for free. And she actually went to 10 local restaurants, and they donated an hors d'oeuvre for 100 to 150 people, and we had food galore. We had food upstairs, we had food downstairs, and it was great. Really good stuff. Big Tommy's brought chicken meatballs, and Taipei 101 brought Rangoon, and Red Lobster brought shrimp cocktails, and Stephen Rocky's brought hummus and pita and chips, and Ascension Brewery bought beer, so it was a great time. We did run out of wine, but I think we were forgiven for that. So the food, no cost. So the wine was our major cost, and we got a $200 gift card from Bush's and a $100 gift card from Myers, and Costco $50, so that covered a lot of our wine. And this year, Myers has already given us $250 and will be one of our bronze sponsors for this coming event. It looked like, we were kind of, yeah, it looks good. We'll see if this actually happens and we get all those people in there. But it all worked out. We had, on the other side of it, a team of about 3 of us started getting silent auction donations, and 30 area businesses donated items for our silent auction. We had books in a silent auction, and we had about 8 raffle baskets. Some that we put together from business items that were donated, and some we made ourselves just because a couple of us like to put baskets together. So we ended up making $3,000 from the silent auction and the raffle. Now, I'll admit, there was a football that was raffled off that was signed by Coach Harbaugh of U of M, and that brought us $1,100. Which was very nice. I don't know what we're going to equate that with this year, but anyway. So mark your calendars for October 19th. I would also like to ask you if you have any ideas about silent auction items, if you know anybody who might make a donation, if you know anybody who might be a sponsor, we would love to get in touch with them. You can get my contact information. As a matter of fact, I just happen to have our sponsorship forms. We have $250, $500, and $1,000 sponsorships. So I do have those if anyone would like to take one of those. In closing, we greatly appreciate the support we get from the library. The people who were honored today, I don't know how many of those have helped me personally. I mean, Barb and Scott both. If I have a problem with a friend's computer, all I need to do is call, and even if it's my fault, they fix it for me. So it's just a great group to work with. We feel included. Julie invites us to planning sessions. She invites me to go to dinner with the author when we have community read. I mean, we feel a part of the library, and it's, as everyone says, it's a really, really great library. So we would like to fondly say goodbye to Marcia, although we're never really going to let Marcia go. She is no longer our liaison. Christina Salvatore is taking over I've talked too long, the liaison for the Friends. So Christina helps us now. She does a lot of our graphics. She designs all our booked for the evening event things for last year, and we're carrying that theme through because we want to be branded. So, yes, we're looking forward to working with Christine, and also Barb with all our financial stuff as we go through all of the money and gladly give you next year for the Maker Lab. We're looking forward to seeing how that works out. Okay, any questions?
How about a comment?
Sure.
The two of you have done a wonderful job over the years in the roles that you have. I've seen a transformation of that group. The leadership you provide has just been amazing. So hats off to both of you.
Yes, thank you.
I would echo that. Just even seeing, I just saw you this week, right? Like in passing, I think there was a mention about the lines at the library. Carol is part of those lines sometimes, just not only being a great contributor, but also a patron. I think we all love books and we want to see other people be able to benefit from that. So you guys are doing a great job. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Anyone else want to say anything?
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
I just want to say that I love that, you're open to new ideas and bringing in people and cautiously, optimistic and just turning such a small event into such a, inclusive event, music and food and a lot of fun. And thank you for our invitation, so.
I remember when I first joined the board and looked at the amount of revenue raised in 1 year from book sales in the Book Nook, and I couldn't believe that. I thought it would be maybe a fifth of that. So I don't know what your marketing approaches are, but that's outstanding to have that kind of sales, and we appreciate where that money ends up.
Yeah.
And not only the money, but the labor that goes into it, the kind of the unsung heroines and heroes that do all the work behind the scenes to make these numbers possible on the paper. So for all the lugging and shifting and selling and showing up, thank you.
We appreciate you. Clap again. Okay, well, now we are at the point in our agenda, item number 8, public comment. In order to hear all citizen comments at a reasonable hour, the library board requests that speakers respect the 5-minute time limit. This is not a question and answer session, therefore, library board members will not respond to questions. It is an opportunity to voice your thoughts with the Novi Public Library Board of Trustees. No one's coming up to the podium, so I will move on to number 9, which is our student representatives report with Lahari.
So for the programs, the Kickoff Teen Summer Party took place at Lucky Strike on June 16th. Attendees enjoyed bowling and pizza while kicking off the Teen Summer Reading Program. Attendance for that was 30. The Tween Pizza and Pages Book Club took place on June 20th. Attendees read the book Pablo and the Birdie by Allison McGee. The purpose of this book club is to encourage tweens to read and also allow tweens to practice for the Battle of the Books program that the library holds annually. Attendance for that was 12. The Rockin' Birthday Bash took place on June 22nd. In partnership with Novi Parks and Recreation, we celebrated the start of the summer reading program and the Sizzling Summer Art Series 10th birthday with all of the essentials of an awesome birthday party. Attendees enjoyed face painting, cupcake decorating, balloon sculpting, music, bounce houses, and a movie at the Novi Civic Center. Attendance for that was 600. Wow. The DIAOA Think Like an Artist program took place on June 23rd. Attendees got to go through the DIAOA truck and participate in hands-on activities. Attendance for that was 156. The DIY t-shirt design program took place on June 27th. Attendees designed their own shirts with fabric paints, markers, and crayons. Attendance for that was 27. For the Teen Space update, there were 311 attendees in Teen Space in the month of June. Teen Space ran from June 1st to June 15th, then is out for the remainder of the summer months and will resume in September of 2018. An end of the year school party, that doesn't sound right. Okay, an end of school party was held on June 15th, the last day of school, and treats were served. The total for September 2017 to June 2018 for Teen Space attendees, or the entire 2017 to 2018 school year, is 6,301, which is the highest numbers to date. So you can see the individual totals for the months there. And now for the Teen Advisory Board update, there was no Teen Advisory Board for the month of June. TAB starts again in September of 2018. For the upcoming programs, there will be the Coding for Girls workshop on August 1st. On August 7th, there will be album cover photography, Minecraft coding using Python on August 8th, the Tween Pizza and Pages book club on August 15th, the Drumunity rhythmic music on August 22nd, and the end of summer teen after hours party on August 24th. And for the captions for the pictures, the kickoff teen summer party at Lucky Strike, the attendees of the Tween Pizza and Pages book club, the Rockin' Birthday Bash, cupcake decorating and face painting by NPL staff, the DIA away truck visits the Novi Public Library, and attendees of the DIY t-shirt design using fabric paints on their shirts. And then on page 26, you can see the comments from Ravina on our tab book drive.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it. Any questions for Lahari?
I just want to say those numbers are very impressive, like goosebumps impressive. So you guys have done an amazing job, and congratulations, and can't wait to see next year.
The diversity of your activities are always kind of amazing. So, way to go.
Thank you. Okay, item number 10, President's Report. So we start with the goals update, and that's A.
So this is it. It's the end of the year. You can see all the pages, 29 to 48. So a lot of great work done throughout this year. The red highlighted, of course, is just the last few months to update you. But at this time, what I'd like to do is just really thank the staff. I mean, this is not me. This is working with almost 70 individuals that do have, everyone has a stake in the game. Everyone provides some form of service. Everyone is held accountable for goals, personal and department, and ways to improve their work environment and the services and collections and technology that we provide to the community. And so this is an overall of what has been done this year. I'm very proud of what we've accomplished, and I entertain any questions that you might have about this document.
I just have a comment again. It's impressive. Two things. Normally, my library budget numbers are in the upper 20s and low 30s, and I'm like, 50s? And it was just so much and just so impressive. And anywhere I go, I'll tell people I'm on the library board, and it's just praise that I receive. And, someone will recognize me. Oh, you're on the library board. I saw you. I'm like, yes, I am. And they're like, it is lovely, and we enjoy it, and it's just absolute praise. And it's all because of all these goals that are set, that everybody is just in it to win. So very impressive.
Well, and I thank all of you, because it starts with you and our opportunity to build those goals each year. And then I'm able to turn around and work with the staff, and they understand and they see the importance in it, and they work just as hard. The month of July is always spent, looking at new goals and what they want to accomplish, what they want to try. We encourage them to try new things all the time. One of my favorite things to do right now, we come in the back door, but with the parking lot being under construction for the school, it's hard coming in that way. But my normal path is to walk down a particular hallway, and the youth department always has this board up with what they're brainstorming for ideas for programs and things that they want to try in the next quarter. And it's usually full of ideas, and it's so much fun to see what's happening from there. In addition to that, Gail Anderson, who's doing the adult programming and heading up some of the adult events like the patio party, this evening and the music, they make wonderful connections with people in the community. They're really reaching out. They're listening to what community members want, and I do believe that this is a wonderful reflection of not only board leadership, but also the staff also having the opportunity to buy in and be a part of this exciting opportunity.
We probably all, everyone up here, we've all gotten comments from people, like Melissa mentioned. I had somebody just a few weeks ago say, the only part of my tax money I don't mind paying is what goes for the library.
I like hearing that.
I like that too.
That, and I always hear, I don't understand, but the parking lot is always full. I mean, every time I drive by, Julie, the parking lot is full. And I'm like, yes, it is. So that's a good problem to have in this community. Really is. We have really turned into a community location and community center for Novi.
I love looking at the goals, and I have like, way to go, bravo, goal completed, ongoing. There is such an interweaving of the inner workings of the library, the weeding, the cataloging, the services, the shifting around, and the combination of outreach and community engagement. And so that's really what a library is. You have to take care of in-house well in order to be able to outreach. And so you do that well, so the kind of like the unsung work of weeding, which is awful.
Right.
But
there are
has
people
to
who
get
love it
done.
too.
Yes, that kind of has to get done. So bravo for the integration into the community as well as doing the work of the library behind the scenes.
Thank you. And I'll be happy to pass on that same information to the board, to the staff as well. They are great to work with. They truly are.
Well, they better be,
Oh, they are.
because you are the...
They are. Yeah.
Okay. So item number 11, Treasurer's Report with Melissa Augusta.
All right. All right, we'll start out with the budget. Sorry, I have to get to the right page. Okay, our budget starts on page 49, ends on page 52. The approved amended budget for Fund 268, fiscal year 2017-2018, I think this will be the last month I say that right, calls for revenue of $2,923,035.78 and expenditures of $3,018,325, consuming $95,289.22 of the fund balance. The revenue and expenditure report for Fund 268 starts on page 54 and goes to page 57. If you look at the year-to-date balance column on page 57. Revenue year-to-date for Fund 268, ending June 30th, 2018, is $2,945,942, an increase from previous month of $20,676. Our expenditures, ending June 30th, 2018, are $2,857,923, an increase of $309,781. This is leaving us with a net revenue currently of $88,018. And we still have another month or two where invoices can still go against that $88,000.
We actually have till August 9th.
August
So
9th,
we're less than a month away.
Okay. And if you make the print any smaller,
I know.
I am
So-
going to, and I have good eyes. I've
I
had
know.
surgery.
And
I'm like-
I gotta apologize to you
It's okay.
because when it gets extrapolated, it's actually in landscape And when it gets dumped in, it turns to letter. I can't get it to reformat, and then it goes smaller. So I have a question for all of you, which is at the end of the meeting before we adjourn. This will be one of the things we look into improving, but I'll be asking for other options as well. So this will be something we will look at. Barbara, as our new person, and I will be looking to make some changes on some of these things, because I know it is difficult. I've now purchased 2 pairs of readers.
I was thinking if you turn them sideways, because if you make them larger, they'll go out of the margin. But if you turn them sideways,
That's
the
what it's
problem.
intended.
She can't get it to go
Okay,
landscape.
No, I do. It's literally landscape in the document.
Mm-hmm.
But when it prints, it's not printing right. That's what the problem is.
I had my
It's
phone
literally
and the
landscape.
magnifier with the, and I have good eyes.
When you get it in your email, is it landscaped or does it look like this?
Oh, I don't know.
Because on my computer, it's full and landscape in the document I'm creating.
I think it does
So
because
that's-
I have to move my cursor to pick it up.
Okay, so you're getting it in the
Yes,
way I
that's
want you to get it, but it's not
Printing.
printing. So we will work on it, I
Okay,
promise.
Thank
Yes.
you. All right, any questions about the 268 revenue and expenditure report?
One of the, because I don't know what page it was on, but somewhere I saw that our revenue, interest revenue had a big cut in a big drop in it. Did I see that right? I don't know where I saw it.
That'll be on page 54, under,
Talking the interest on investment.
I'm talking
664.
interest and investments.
Yeah, so last year, we were saying we had 51,000, but we budgeted 35, is that what we're looking at?
Yeah, I was looking at the actual number. It seemed to be lower. That was
But did you look at the actual end balance
probably.
from 2017? Because that's,
well, there's a negative 14,000, is that what you're referring to?
That's what I'm
That's just
referring.
saying, that's just a calculation, that's not an actual number of,
Okay.
yeah.
'Cause
So
it hit me.
currently, year-to-date for interest on investments is 49,000, and we had budgeted 35, so we're actually up 14,000.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's what it's saying, we're up
Misread.
14,763.
Yeah.
Because it's revenue and it's more than expected, it's showing as a red.
Thank you.
Okay. So red isn't bad in revenue.
I know.
It means more.
More.
Okay, okay.
I said, what is that?
Yes, 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 yes. Okay, phew. Okay, revenue and expenditure report for Fund 269, which is on page 58. Revenue year-to-date ending June 30th, 2018 was $46,964.55. Expenditures ending June 30th, let me make sure I have this right. 28,000, sorry, I can't read it. Is it $562.52 with a net revenue of $18,303.03. Balance sheet on page 59 for Fund 268. Fund balance as of June 30th is $1,923,058.67. And on page 60, the fund balance for Fund 269 as of June 30th, 2018 is $1,711,115.89. Any questions?
Thank you.
Thank you.
You do an excellent job, Melissa.
Clearing up my confusion.
Of course, of course.
Okay, we're going to move on to item number 12, which is our director's report.
okay. So first page on 61, I've provided the July and August celebrations for employee anniversaries. I believe I noted for July, we have Marcia Dominic of 18 years.
Wow.
Yep.
Congratulations.
Keith Perfect, 6 years. Scott Rakestraw, 4 years. Lisa Brinkman, 2 years. Donna Filipiak, 2 years. And Tracy Pelletier, 1 year. And then for August, we have Rebecca Powell, 18 years. Elizabeth Kopko, 8 years. And Jesse Shank, 5 years. There's some information about Out and About and some of the events that I attended in July. And then I wanted you to see the email that went out on almost the last day of school that I sent to our Novi educators and the administration. It is just such a joy to work with the school district. I appreciate Dr. Matthews and Dr. Weber. Those are my two main contacts most days. And we've been able to do some wonderful programming and bring some new things to our library, which actually shows a great partnership between the school district and the library, things that other libraries just are not doing. I'm very proud of the relationship we have. I can tell you that on a regular basis, when I go to conferences, I'm asked by other directors, how have you been able to put together such a great relationship with your school district? Because it can be difficult, and I think I've shared with you in the past, I've been in communities where it's not easy to get in the school doors. I don't know why, but it just isn't. But with the Novi School District, it was beyond easy. They were very open and willing to work with us, and they actually saw very much the positiveness and the rewards and the need for a library and to be connected with us. And that's, I think, what I appreciate also the most, and they value us as partners. And this is a school district that has media centers. So a lot of districts now don't have that opportunity anymore. And so we've been able to build even greater relationships because we have these librarians already in-house in their buildings, and they're just as receptive to us when we reach out. So we just have built some great relationships with the schools. So this is just a small thank you. I will be presenting at the Novi School Board on August 9th. If anyone would like to join me, you're more than welcome. It's a Thursday evening. Just as a thank you, I wanted to get in front of them and let the school board know how much I have appreciated the relationships that we have been able to foster over the last few years. I'll be presenting just a quick sheet of things that we tend to accomplish over a year. And then I'm also happy to tell you that don't have a date yet, but I will be meeting with the Walled Lake School District Board in September. I knew that was your next question. And so I've reached out to the superintendent there, and he's very happy to entertain my presence at one of their meetings, so I can talk about some of the things. We've got a great little list that we have started to cultivate with Walled Lake Schools as well.
So where does that school board meeting occur?
It's at the main, on Taft, at their school board administration building. Yes. So let me know if you can attend, because I do believe I have to put your names just for them in terms of who's attending with me, and I'd be happy to have you join me at that meeting. Okay, and then on page 63, super excited because Fox Run is amazing, and they have a wonderful group of ladies I work with on a monthly basis called YOU, Your Own University, and this is just a snippet of just the 3 authors we'll be bringing in on October 2nd for our author luncheon that we've been hosting now for, I believe, close to 5 years, that this has been going on in conjunction with Fox Run, and the residents love it. The residents also, Fox Run opens up their doors to allow anyone to come in and be part of this event, which is fabulous. And, this is supported by our friends of the Novi Library, so just a great event to connect readers and the writers, which I love.
I have to tell you a story that happened at the last Authors Live luncheon that we had. We had a resident who was new to the community. It was the first big event she attended. She invited a friend of hers to come with her, and he did. While at the meeting, he saw a woman he had known years and years ago. Both their spouses had died. They connected at the Authors Live luncheon and are now married. There was. But they knew one another from way back. He was thinking of moving into Fox Run, and he did it. It was amazing.
It sounds like a new book.
I know.
It does. Those are little vignettes that occur all the
You
time.
never know what can happen in
right.
relation to the library, right?
Right.
Oh, thank you so much, Doreen. Following on pages 64 and 65, this is Barbara Kowski's report. Lots of photos this time because we had our final event with Enable, the assembly day that we held in June. You can see at the bottom that some of the Enable students from the robotics team were invited up to the state capitol and had a chance to talk about this program, which I'm so proud of these students. It's just a great way for us to be involved with the schools. Lots of upgrades. You know, the end of the year is when Barb tends to spend the most of her money because of the way the building was, you know, when it was opened and the timeline. So she's shared some of that information with you as well. And then on page 67 starts a report from Scott Rakestraw about the virtual reality events and how successful these events were. And if it were not for the Friends of the Novi Library and them purchasing this equipment and letting us try out this equipment and bring it to the community, we wouldn't have these success stories. So I'm very excited that they were part of this as well. On page 72, at the top is the facilities report by Keith Perfect. And at the bottom, you can see a quick little note from Drew Lathan. He is our expert on our bioswales, and this is just a report of how well they're looking. They haven't had they haven't needed much maintenance this year. They're growing as they should. They're definitely the plants that are supposed to be in there, and they are growing well and working well with the soil. So he's very pleased, and it's been minimal maintenance this year because of the way they've grown. So thank you again for the support of us having to, I know, redo some things, but to make it as natural as possible, and that's what we've done. On page 73 is April Stevenson and her information services report. A lot of great things going on there. Lots of programs. You know, June kicked off summer reading, and it's 3 full months of summer reading this year, which is the longest we've ever done it. But and she has a goal of 3,000 readers, and I know she's not far from reaching it, and we still have a month to go, which I'm really excited about. And I always love to point out our Raising Readers and the success and what's going on, and that's at the bottom of page 74. So you can see the numbers in the books and the amount of books that have been read just in 1 month's time, 3,500 by littles. So pretty exciting numbers there.
Before you go on, would you talk a little bit about the relationship or partnership that we have with Villabar and the artists in residence and how we see that partnership growing?
So that's actually being, for the most part, organized through the Historical Commission. And we have a liaison, which is Betty Lang, who was here this evening. She works very closely with the Historical Commission. And so we're working with them to try and put together a program presentation that we can use to go out and actually then promote Villabar. We'll be definitely part of the event. They're getting ready to kick off in October. The city is, because they've done some renovation work. So we'll be part of that. We own the rights to the Villabar book. The Historical Commission purchased the rights to the book, and we'll be selling it at that event and also throughout the year as we are able to put this new presentation together, which will talk about David Barr and how important he was to our community. So that's still moving along. In fact, we have a meeting in August to start working on a presentation format that we want to do. So thank you for that question.
It's been, a lot of foundation work has
Yes.
gone on, has had to. Have they selected the artist in residence yet? And do they have that process moving?
I know that they were working on the process. I don't know if someone has been selected
Okay,
yet.
thank you.
Absolutely. Page 75, let me just point out one thing because this is so cool. If you look at the top of page 75, Katie Iverson, who was here this evening, our intern, talk about amazing. So she's doing Monday,
Masterpiece Monday.
yes, Masterpiece Monday, thank you. Where you can come in, just like you'd go to a painting with a twist, that concept is being offered through the library at no cost. And this program has just gone like gangbusters. In fact, she's got waiting lists for people to get in on these Monday programs. She's even thought about moving the space even and accommodating larger amounts of people. But this is a young person just in library school, you know, still learning, but yet we're able to work with her and her creativity and allow her to do some of that.
Wonderful.
Yeah, while she's learning her new profession. So just a shout out to her. As you can see, the DIA and the big bus that was here on site, and that was a great turnout as well. Mary Ann Zermulin, at no fault of hers, did not have a report submitted because she was waiting on some statistics from TLN. They're still working on a few things when it comes to Carl and having those statistics finalized. So you will see a double report next month because I know that they're almost finalized with some information.
Sometimes infants need a little extra time.
Yes,
You know, Carl's
yes.
still growing.
It's very, very young, isn't it? Baby, like, yeah.
Baby Carl.
And then we also had a little bit of time frame that we had to wait. Usually, our librarians are just chomping at the bit to start ordering July 1st when the new money is available. And we did have to slow that down and had to have them wait on some of our bigger vendors that we order from just because of the Carl process. It wasn't the library, it wasn't the staff, but it was just, acclimating to some of the new processes that are in the new system that we've gone to. But they're up and ordering now, I can tell you, so.
I don't know where it was, but there was something, maybe it was in the goals, that was talking about the enhancement of language classes and language conversations. And I was just thinking, I know at Fox Run we have Yiddish, French, German, Italian classes, and I don't think there's ever been a connection with the library
There
to do
hasn't,
that.
right.
And so I'm going to invite you, and I'll let Peggy know I've
Great.
talked to you about it.
Okay,
Would
would love it.
It just seems to me that there are little nooks and crannies that with a little outreach.
Right.
The French class should come here. to the
Absolutely.
library.
We'd love it.
And you probably don't have Yiddish, but.
We don't, but maybe there's a way for us to
Gotcha.
look for others the other,
Okay.
yeah.
Good. All right, thank you.
You know what I'm thinking. Starting on page 77 is our statistics, so this does get us through the year. Very proud of what we're seeing in terms of numbers and usage this year. Again, it's another great year. We can continue to do so much. If not by much, are we down on things, or we've also exceeded a few spaces as well. On page 85, I do want to point out to you, if you look at the bottom for June, it's highlighted. This is our library app usage, and when we switched over to Carl, the library app, not Carl, but the library app had some issues. So we've been working with them. The company is wonderful. They've had to write some new code and stuff in order for it to be talking to Carl. So we're waiting on them for that to be completed. I actually just saw an email today that, they're very close to it being completed, and it should be up and running soon. But that's why you're seeing some lower numbers for the month of June because of that usage. And then I know that the Friends, they already addressed, their meeting and some of the information they presented to you this evening, which goes through to pages 90, I believe. And on 91 is your bits and pieces, which is an update from Jim Pletz, who is the director at TLN, our consortium. And then on the very last page is your library calendar. We've got lots of great
The
things that
bits
are.
and pieces about this Imagine Entertainment, Novi library card is accepted to them?
I have not worked with them yet to set anything up at this time. I was actually trying to get more receptive with them in terms of sponsorships as well, and that didn't seem to go too well. So I haven't explored all of it yet this year for that option.
Any
Is there
questions
any
for Julie?
questions? Yeah, thank you, Tara. Any questions?
I want to go back to the goals.
Okay.
We went through them so quickly.
Sure.
It seems that we did get the essential, essential level.
We did,
And we're now moving toward the enhanced level.
yes.
And-
It's actually been submitted,
It
so
has
we're
been
waiting.
submitted. So is there anything that the board needs to do or could do to help facilitate that? I know all these numbers and everything
Right.
go into that.
Sure.
But
So
is there
I
anything you need from us?
I think I shared an email with all of you of what the criteria was for excellent.
Yes, you did.
So we will want to work from that particular document. And there are a few things related to the board
Yes.
to be aware of.
Yes.
So I would like to have another conversation if we can and see where we might be able to put some people in place and maybe get involved. I can tell you that I'm looking to have a board retreat, because by doing those types of things, that counts for CUSAC, and so I'm looking at September, and I've reached out to our other neighboring libraries to see if their boards want to join you, so it's not just your board, you'll be able to network with some other
That'd be fun.
boards. I thought that would be a great way for us, we've been doing partnerships with our 6 libraries now for a number of years, and you might want to get to know some of the other library board members in other communities. I don't have a date yet, but I will definitely keep you posted. I'm not sure if it'll be an evening during the week or a Saturday. I'm waiting on the consultant from the state of Michigan who will actually come in and do the talk. But those are the types of things that we've got to toot the library board's horn about more.
Yes.
And that's where I think we've got some work to do. We also have the Michigan Library Association conferences coming up. And I'd love to know if you can email me if you're interested in being in attendance.
Where?
It's right here in Novi this year, so that's why I'd love to see some great representation, because again, then we say that we send you to conferences, we get you involved at a board level. That is taking place in October, and it is a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and that those dates are, pardon me just for a moment, just so I can look here. It is October 17th, 18th, and 19th. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday of that week. If you could let me know in the next week, if, I can tell you that the 17th and 18th are the heavier days. Typically, it's a full day, so like 8 to 4-ish, 8 to 5. The event this year won't be held at the library. They actually looked at a local business we suggested. Since Paradise Park has been a wonderful sponsor of the library for many years, we recommended that the libraries let loose and the librarians let loose at Paradise Park. So if anything, that would be a great opportunity for you to even to go to that particular networking event, which would be on Thursday evening. And I will
I will
send
be
you,
available.
I'll send you some specifics that might be of interest to you, and you can let me know
Yeah, where is it being?
at the Suburban.
That's-
Yes.
okay.
Mhm.
And
You said Paradise Park or Suburban?
I'm sorry?
It will be in Paradise Park or Suburban?
The conference itself will be at Suburban. The networking fun evening that we hosted a couple years ago at the library, that's going to be at Paradise Park. So there's a couple of different options for you to be involved.
Yeah, could you send us the
Yes,
details?
I would be happy to.
Could, could you also kind of like let us know again that when the library school board's going to be?
Yes.
When, where, et cetera, as well as the book through the evening information?
Yes.
So we get it in one place.
Absolutely,
You
I'll
spoil
include 'em
us,
all.
So keep spoiling.
I will. I'll give you a dates to remember and
Okay.
important,
I've
right?
been doing it, putting
Yes.
it right in my calendar.
I got them all for you, no problem. I'm actually working this weekend, so I'll be happy to follow up and give you some information.
Good, thank you.
As far as participation in that, 3 days is a lot.
Right.
Can we
But you can do a
participate
one-day,
partial
yes,
or those
yes.
type of things?
You can come for a half day. I can even work it where if you want to do a half day, we'll pay for one, and you'll just be 2 people. We could,
Oh, we could do that, we can
Yes.
split it.
yes.
Yeah.
You'll be Doreen Wood. Or Jeff
So you
Poupard.
want to get rid of the
Marriages
Popards.
happen.
So we definitely can make it work. We can. So, and then what also I'll make sure that you're aware of is where the keynotes are. Those are really good for you. The keynotes are always amazing at conference. So I would be happy to give you that information this weekend.
I haven't been to a library conference.
Oh, You're going to
20,
be,
30,
you're
40
going to be
years.
amazed. It's,
Yeah,
I always leave completely energized. So it's pretty exciting. And you'll get to meet a lot of local library directors, library trustees, from libraries that you are going to be very familiar with in the Detroit suburban area. So it'll be worth your time for sure. I'd love to see all of you in some capacity at part of the day or an evening event. If we could do that, let's try.
Challenge accepted.
Challenge accepted, okay.
I'm going to move on for
Yes.
sake of time. So number 13, committee reports. Starting with A, policy report. I am the chair of that, and nothing to report, actually.
Right.
B, HR committee.
We're going to be getting together to work on amending the director's evaluation. Since it's only 2 of us on the committee, Julie, I'm going to be asking for an ad hoc member, probably from your staff, to join us.
Okay.
Just to sort of,
Smart.
share some of the history of evaluations and some of the things you do, and probably to offer us some automation support.
Okay,
as well.
wonderful.
That's great.
Brilliant. C, Finance Committee.
We have nothing new to report at this time.
Thank you. Okay, and then D, part of that is our polo shirts we're wearing tonight. Don't forget, before you run out of here, please pose for a picture, just really quick for marketing. July 8th, we had our youth area renovation unveiling. Myself, Craig, and Bill were able to be there and take part, and it was pretty amazing. I don't know if you two want to say anything about that.
It was very good, very well received, and it's been well used since that time.
It has.
Awesome. Okay, July 11th, there was a Friends annual meeting, and I got to be a part of that as well. It was amazing. They do incredible work for our library, and it's just, it's a benefit and a pleasure to be able to be around them. July 12th, Beyond Books cable taping. I also got to be on screen with our amazing executive director talking
was
about.
fun.
It was a lot of fun, and we have amazing people that are taping us. They're behind the cameras,
Right.
But they were so helpful.
They were
Just-
great crew with
oh
the
my
city,
goodness.
yep, and their
Yeah.
Studio 6. We talked about the unveiling of the youth area, and then we also talked about your goals that you set for this year. So we talked about some of the projects and things that are coming up for 18-19.
And I was told that should be airing sometime this week.
Yes, that's
So
what I've been
that's
told.
exciting.
Usually I get sent a link, so as soon as that link comes to me, I'll make sure that you all have it.
Perfect. Thank you
Yep,
so much.
Absolutely.
E, strategic planning.
This is a really big year on strategic planning. We're just kind of holding our breath because we're ready to hold our nose and jump in very shortly.
Yes, we are.
And we have the beginnings of a brochure that kind of like highlights it
Beautiful.
with the intent to get the most important in a way that will grab you rather than just words. And so it's graphic and well-designed to kind of like catch you. For example, a look at the past 5 years. And so people live in a world where they don't need pages of books to read. So it will be.
Except if you're reading a novel or nonfiction, right?
Which
Okay,
doesn't
I just want to make sure
happen.
we clarify that.
So pay attention, there'll be a whole lot more upcoming.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you. F, Building Landscape Committee.
The LED project has begun. It's underway. There's been a delay due to lack of bulbs. We're waiting on a delivery, but it should be in here August 6th, give or take a day or two. Keith is doing a really good job of documenting what's been done and keeping track of what product is going where, which will help down the road. There's been a few minor issues that have come up, but they've all been able to be resolved. So far, we haven't done anything with the ballasts. We're working on the bulbs. We've got a few issues to resolve yet, but progress is being made, and as of now, it looks like maybe late September we'll be wrapping up, at least what we had intended to. So
We have
it's
a new
moving and moving well.
Yeah, we have a new schedule. There was a meeting today, so I'll make sure that in the next board pack, the rest of the board can see some of the progression that's going on.
Awesome. And then G, Bylaw Committee.
No more action. Work completed.
Okay, that's it for committees. Thanks for everybody who gives their time. I think there's a lot of people that give their Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday to the board committee meetings that we don't always know about. It's a lot of hours of dedication put in that's not always thanked, so I'll thank you right now. 14, public comment. In order to hear all citizen comments at a reasonable hour, the library board requests that speakers respect the 5-minute time limit. This is not a question-answer session, therefore, library board members will not respond to questions. It is an opportunity to voice your thoughts with the Novi Public Library Board of Trustees, and there is no one coming forward, so we're going to move on to 15, which we have no matters for board action tonight. So we'll move on to 16.
And that is a typo. So I forgot to admit that when I was doing my board packet, so I apologize, yes.
No worries.
Completed.
Yes, before we adjourn, yes, we don't do that every month, only twice a year. Before we adjourn, my question to you is, the burning question is there anything with the packet that you would like to see improved or changed for our new year as we've started July? I think that's a good time for me to, look at things, if I can put different things in or omit, or definitely we will address the financial smallness and the type and make sure that that looks better going forward. But anything else that could be useful to you?
Can we do, like, I think we've talked about this before, like in the financials, sort of like jumping around from page to page. Can we just have a highlight page at the very beginning that just budget, revenue?
Like an outline?
Yeah, just a
So instead of a line by line?
Yeah, so you can see just if instead of jumping back and forth, you see that, then you can dig into the details later on. But
Thank you.
Instead
Thank
of going
you.
back and forth, then you can put it in really large font.
Yes,
Somebody
well,
type-
okay.
But I
So
think-
basically a budget summary.
But I think the line by line is important
No,
too,
keep
though.
the line on,
Okay,
but the very
okay.
first
okay.
page
Page.
be a high-level summary.
It kind of like is your summary that we don't have to go hunting for in the tiny numbers.
Yeah.
So a summary page, and then the numbers all
Which is
back
what
it
we
up.
talked about a couple
Which could be
months
large
ago.
font
We did.
because it's-
So what we talked about is kind of taking my report and including it in the report.
As a
so-
lead page.
So that you can follow along and see it, yeah. So if I can get the numbers ahead of time,
You could, or if you want to tell me what you think is most important to highlight, I can have Barbara actually have that as that page prior to the financials.
And then in addition to that, maybe you just have either a copy of the thick report, but we don't go through it, or you could have a note that says, if you want to look at the full report, request.
Yeah.
That might be a thought too. Does that make sense?
So you don't want any of the financial reports in there?
Oh, yes.
No,
we
No,
want
no,
them.
no.
Oh,
We
I
want
see.
it, but
Okay.
she's not gonna go
We
through,
want them.
Okay.
she's going through the outline more so, right?
Right.
So I'm saying that's there, but that isn't, we're not turning the pages,
Yeah.
because that's what we were
Correct.
getting to,
Yeah.
right? So
Okay.
yeah, you'll just follow along kind of like I read, like the
Right.
student
I like that
reports.
I do too.
Yeah.
So if you want to give us your
How I-
notes from that outline right there, we can have it done for you, is what I'm saying. I can have Barbara pull that information each month, and it's the same stuff being pulled out for you to have. Or do you want to submit it to us? Whichever would work.
It doesn't matter. I can tell you how I calculate my numbers. Craig, you're thinking?
No, you do it either way. She may not always know everything she wants highlighted.
Right.
but
Right.
Yeah,
Because sometimes I always add a little bit, or I do, depending on where we're at in the year, or.
So why don't we do this? Why don't we, because timing and always getting reports for Melissa to have enough time to review can be sometimes difficult.
Changing, yeah.
Why don't we have you have your report and enough copies for everyone, so we would need 10 copies for you to bring at the board meeting. We will add that to the agenda each month in the financial reports, and then she reads from that, and you can follow along.
So that gives you a few days of leeway.
It gives
And then the
her,
packets
it
for
gives
the
her
other.
plenty of time, and she's coming with what she is completely confident with
Yeah,
in
I'll-
terms of reporting.
I'll bring what I read.
And that gets added each month.
How about that? I don't
Just
mind
as an
just
addendum.
printing everybody a copy.
That'd be very helpful.
Or I can make note of it as the treasurer's budget summary, and then you report to it. It'll end up being in the board packet the following month as a recorded document. Because that's the other thing, I don't want to lose anything either by
Right.
recording it. So we could do it that way, where you bring enough copies for people to review, and then I put in budget summary as a new line item, and we address it each month.
Let me be a devil's advocate on that.
Sure.
When I go through it, I'm not a numbers lady, as people know I'm a word person. But I go through it, and sometimes I don't know quite where I am, and I have to find the right column, and,
Right.
I spend a lot of time. If I had the summary before I started looking at the particulars,
Right.
it would really help me. It would be a crutch.
Okay.
So I would like it before.
So you
But
need
if
in
I'm the only
advance.
one
Gotcha.
who wants
Okay.
it before, you know,
I can,
I just don't
that's,
understand the challenge of having it in the, because the numbers are in here already. You're just, instead of
Well-
the numbers being in the small print here, you're just putting it on.
I'm taking, those numbers that I report are not 100% what I do is I look at the end of May, and I reported we had revenue of blah, blah, blah. And then I look at, okay, now we have revenue of
XYZ.
XYZ, I subtract the difference, and then that's what the increase or decrease comes from. So I'm not reading specific numbers that are reported. I'm reporting, we've increased revenue of $20,000, we've increased expenditures of $309,000. So I'm not taking, I'm doing a calculation from May to June and telling you how much we spent in that, since that time period. Does that make sense?
So you have to have the numbers in front of you before you can do your report.
Absolutely.
Yes, so I do my calculations.
But you could report those calculations, I think, if we just saw where things stood overall as a revenue, you know, the budget's never changed, right? You know,
Right, that's the same, yeah,
well, it has
that's,
sometimes.
yeah, right. Amended.
But, you know, the high-level revenue, high-level expenditures, and then you speak to the details, but at least at a high level, we see that. I think that's.
Okay, so you
That
want,
would be
you
helpful.
would like to see revenue year-to-date,
And how that-
expenditures
And
year-to-date,
how that compares to the budget.
compared to
Yes,
budget.
yes.
Okay,
Those are three static things that you have on.
And then you can, extrapolate others and mention more, but at least the guts of it or the, framework is there for us.
okay, so maybe Barbara and I can sit down and kind of come up with a plan or something, or what that will look like.
We typically have the financials available as of the 10th.
Okay.
And then I, based on timing, put the report together, and then I try to get it to you 1 week in advance of the meeting.
And I'm sure it's not rocket science, it's just calculator that can go that far out, so, and if I explain how I do it, we'll be able to do a quick summary for sure.
That's good.
Because we want to highlight what you think is important. We want it to be.
Absolutely. Which is what I report every month, so is that what I give you good? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Really quick, I was going to say, it was an excellent question to ask us what we want to see in the board packets going forward. I think it would be beneficial to give us at least like 24, 48 hours or something like that to think through, if that's okay.
Absolutely.
Is there a deadline that you need that answer by? We want to respect that.
I would love if I could have everything by the 9th of August. So you have
Okay,
another week.
awesome. That way it gives us some time to kind of brainstorm amongst our.
I have a question. You provide a lot of information and a lot of pictures, and we pick up the flavor, and we get different things from different people. Is any of that required by, certification or libraries to be? In other words, what must be in a library packet
There really
compared to
isn't.
what you provide?
There isn't, but over time, and as I've talked with other library colleagues and directors, I just feel the more transparent we are and the more information
Absolutely.
I can provide to all of you, I want you to, I also want you to use this as a Bible of information for things that are going on with the library. I just feel like you're getting a good document, that you can refer back to on a monthly basis.
Who besides us could benefit from some of this information?
Well, the friends do, they get a copy of it.
They get a copy of it.
The city manager does, and so does the
Okay.
assistant city
So
manager.
it really becomes a communication
Absolutely,
linkage
it
to
does.
other, that's good, that's
Yes,
good.
and then it's on the website, so anyone can review this packet, and it goes up
That's right.
prior to your meeting.
Right.
Yep, it's always available.
Awesome. Anything else on that?
Great, well, okay, so I'll put a deadline and send out a separate email just for that, if there's any
Thank you,
options.
Julie.
Sure.
Perfect.
Yep.
Okay. All right, I think we are at the point,
Motion to
17.
adjourn.
Second?
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Yeah, poor man.
We are adjourned. Thank you guys so much.
Doreen Wood.
Noreen Wood agrees, all right.
Picture.
So